Welcome to another exciting episode of $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And I apologize for shouting. I don't exactly know why I did that. Apparently I'm working up for a cheerleading camp and I got my spirit fingers going. Mr. Magazine, I was pulling into the parking lot the other day and I noticed something sitting out there across a couple of parking spaces with a big sign in front that says, "Do not park in front of." That was promptly ignored by various people.
Where was this at?
Your parking lot.
It said don't park here? Where's
Yeah.
the sign that said that?
Yeah.
Where?
On the front of the dumpster that I'm talking
Oh,
about.
that dumpster. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Well, I was thinking about the other area of the mud and the dirt, and, there's no sign there.
We
You couldn't
just
park there.
talked about this before the show started that, okay, I got a dumpster. Okay, I'm going to talk
Well,
about
I
that.
didn't know there was a sign on that. I thought you were making
You probably
some joke.
park in front of it.
Well, okay, once or twice. We're taking it Friday, though.
And why do you have that dumpster there?
Well, it's time for spring cleaning, and we have a lot of junk that's been piling up in the warehouse, but also we have a big collection coming in, so we need to make some room and throw out some dead weight inventory that's been taking room on the shelves, taking up a lot of room on the shelves over time that we were never, ever going to get to. So especially now that we're in a full whatnot mode, I went through a lot of records to sell and stuff that condition or just isn't going to sell, common stuff, and we just threw out 100 boxes probably of records, on top of 100 tubs, plastic tubs you get from deals and stuff, and pallets that were sitting outside. So I figured let's rent this dumpster, make some room, and now it'll be a lot easier, seamless, hopefully, when the truck comes this Friday to unload and have room for everything.
And what idea did Papergoy give you
I hate these tests.
next time?
I don't know. Maybe you should tell me now.
This way, Mr. Magazine can watch the video.
Yeah.
Papergoy did mention to Mr. Magazine that there is a whatnot section called the estate sale section. And what he suggested would be, before anything made it to the dumpster, leave out broken glassware, leave out a moldy record, leave out something absolutely destroyed that has no value. That's a whole different story. Pallets, different story. Those don't have any value. But anything else, if it is dumpster bound, make a detour to the whatnot room, which apparently you're setting up.
Yeah, so originally I have a pod right by where everyone parks, and there's a lot of crap from this Geneva deal from years ago. And my plan was to throw a lot of it out to make room for these other boxes of magazines we got, or even the new deal coming in. And so once I started taking stuff out, I'm like, man, this is worth something. This is worth something. Those Hamilton plates and Danbury Mint plates, and some were Disney, some were Star Wars, Star Trek. So I'm like, I'm not throwing these out. And then there were some Avon bottles. I'm like, but they're in the original boxes from the 70s. I go, they have to have some value. I know they're not popular, but, if we've got 500 of them at $3 a piece, it's still $15. I don't want to throw that out either. So we end up making some room, keeping them, and filling everything up with this pallets of car magazines and stuff that we bought a couple months ago. But I did not throw much out. I did throw some things out, but there was broken stuff and
broken
trinkety things. So I really didn't throw any. And I was going to give you a crack at some of the stuff, and Aaron, and I was either keeping it or there was nothing to throw out unless it was broken. So it worked out well that way. There was some dolls, like Raggedy Ann type with no names. Just stuff that to me it wasn't a lot, but it was something. So we made some room and kept most of it. Surprisingly, we filled up this pot again, and we're good to go for the Friday.
Yep. So at some point in the future, usually about a year and a half after I give suggestions to Mr. Magazine, he listens to them. So about a year and a half into the future, Mr. Magazine will be having, again, this estate sale catch-all kind of auctions.
Yes.
And I think they're absolutely wonderful idea. What I do with my catch-all stuff, or I haven't done so yet, but there is a gentleman who recently got a building in a suburb near here, and he gets a lot of paper stuff and sets up the flea markets. Well, basically, I've talked to him a few times, and it's like, you bring me the stuff that you don't deal with, which would be, I picked up 3 new Pez at a church sale just filling in a bag, things like that, that I know enough that they're okay and I'm not going to throw them out.
Sure.
I know you don't want them, and I'll bring that stuff to him to sell through his store, just whatever little oddball stuff that ends up in boxes that I have, and I'll trade it to him for photos and postcards and whatever other magazines, whatever other people he might have.
Yeah.
And again, would I ever list that stuff on my own? No, I absolutely never would. But I also don't have the volume. And when you're over on Whatnot, one of the most important things that you can do is be consistent. In other words, and I'm making this up, let's just say that Mr. Magazine gets a new Whatnot person, and they're able and capable of working 10 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon doing Whatnot.
Yeah.
Every Monday, 10 to 1 is who knows what it is, estate sale stuff.
Yep.
And every Monday, this week it's a railroad lantern next to a, whatever. Unopened pack in 1997 Fleer next to who knows, who cares, or a partial box of it.
Yeah.
Who knows what this stuff might be.
Sure.
And at that point, if after you've tried to run it through, it's like, okay, that didn't sell. What am I going to do with it at this point? Well, we've at least given it the old college try at that point.
Sure.
And meanwhile, that would be all the stuff that I would be unloading on the other gentleman.
Yeah.
And when I say unloading, it's only because it isn't, it's not junk. It just isn't within my scope of what I sell.
Do you see the light bulb here? Now that you mention that, I have tubs and tubs of packs of cards from Geneva and stuff, like, from the 80s, but like rack packs, double packs. We can do that forever. But even $2 minimum, obviously they're going to be worth more than that. Even from the 80s, the common stuff, 1988 rack pack's probably $3-4. So even if it goes for half, too, who cares? Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Okay. We're going to start that soon, I think.
See, when Mr. Magazine actually listens to the show, he makes more money. And you can, too. Make sure that you hit the like button if you could, and we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.